Hello. I'll just testing out the pause button real quick. This is episode 2 of my life episodes where 8 years ago, I just sat down in front of a camera as if nobody was there, hit record, and just on the fly went over my life. However it came to me, however it came out. Not for any reason, not for anyone. And I have not watched a single one even before uploading them 8 years ago. This is the first time I'm watching them now. And again, just like all the other videos, I am simply expressing from my being, from me, not telling anyone any damn thing at all to think for themselves. I'm speaking from myself I'm just speaking out loud just whatever. Not even intently, completely for a camera. So anything I say, I'm not declaring anything for anyone else. This is all completely me, myself, and I. That's it. No matter what I say, I am not dictating anything over, toward, or nothing of the sort on anyone else. It is all just however I see, experienced, understand, etc., whatever. And again, speaking from my being, without making it about orientation. The simplest way I could put it for a regular Joe, even though I'm Joe, to understand a simple way of one of the things I'm doing. How they say people always put on a mask or performances or identities for socializing in society, other people and stuff, where they're not completely acting 100% themselves. They are filtering themselves for or around other people, all that. I don't do that. I mean, the only time I really ever do that is if I know anything I'm going to say is just going to be more issues, then I'm just the quiet one. I'll just not interact. But when I do interact, if I'm not being reactive to a negative situation, I'm just always me. Especially after early last year. I'm just me. If I'm not reacting, again, to a negative situation, most of it's here at home, I'm just me all the time. I'm not out there, I'm even here. That's why I like my privacy, because nobody's around, there's no eyes, no ears, no nothing. I am not performing. I hate doing that. For a camera, for an audience. I'm not filtering. I am not presenting any facade, any masks, any identity for anyone else. It's like I'm just freely speaking, and the only reason I'm saying that over and over is because the more I research, the more normal it is for people, the more normal it seems that people do that. It seems more of a normal thing, more than I thought. Whereas even if it's, again, somebody unaware, like say, I'm not going to get into an example, but I mean, I've really never, again, when you're orientated toward being, life, living, everything isn't about a show, a performance, fitting in, being liked, changing yourself away from your own actual, unchangeable authenticity. That comes from being. Mine. Fine. Mine. I don't know what's inside anyone else. Again, that's why I keep saying every now and then, 3 years old, because I have, since awareness from within started out, the first initial event, I was 3 years old. The me, who I am, foundationally, not to go speaking deeply, who I am inside has never, ever changed in the internal aspect. Obviously, I have grown, etc., but the me has never changed. That's what I mean, that authentic part. As if, like, I didn't have a choice. That's just who I am, whatever began from that event at 3 years old. I have been the same being looking outward through this, operating through this body, not to sound weird. I'm just being general. I'm just speaking, trying to be generalized, that it's always just been me. I mean, I don't, like they talk about like people changing identities, adopting different things just to fit in, stuff like that. And it's like, it never occurred. Like, that's one thing that never occurred to me, that people don't even know, that there's people out there that don't even know they do that. Like, that's normal, which again, who the heck am I to speak on somebody else's awareness? But I have been just the same me, watching all of this in wonder for 41 years now. And that is who's sitting here speaking. Hopefully that was simple enough. I'm in a better mood today. And I found the pause button. So I'm hoping this one is better, because yesterday's, I mean, from my point, like, again, I haven't watched these yet. I want the meat and potatoes. I don't want to, because yesterday's 8 years ago me, and I'm not watching this for performance, none of that crap. 8 years ago me, that was the first time ever doing anything like this. So it took me a bit to get my bearings, and I'm hoping, like, again, I haven't watched it. I'm hoping it gets started a little quicker this time, because me watching myself also as an unbiased audience, but also knowing what I knew then and now, and it's like, watching myself, it was like, dude, it's like you're thinking, you're contemplating too much, and you're talking too little and too long in between. It's like, because I already know, well, I don't know everything I was saying. That's why I'm watching these again. But it's like, I wanted to get to the point, and I was just like, yeah, all right, you know what? Let's just, episode 2.
And I'm back. Yeah, freaking battery abruptly died. It's an hour and a half.
Oh, that hurt.
It's at the highest setting.
Oh,
I should have adjusted
oh, that hurt.
the brightness on it. I have to
That
set
was
for indoors
loud.
though, so I don't know. Put the fan on. It's quite warm in here.
Oh no, I apologize for past me with
Gonna
that
continue where I left
freaking.
off.
That thing is so loud.
Enjoy.
I don't like
My
it either.
dad, I'm getting a divorce.
I remember. Yep, that's where I left
Yep,
off in the last one.
I'll get to that. And went right up to the bleachers up the back. Freaking crying my fucking eyes out. I mean, I can't, it was in the summertime, I think, so I can't remember how old I was.
Again, I am listening to myself. Sadly, I am vaping right next to the microphone. I apologize. That is loud and obnoxious to me, even. I was listening. This is much cool. I got headphones on though, but I'll do this quieter. Not to mention, I'll be at least a foot away from the camera and microphone. I apologize for the vaping though.
Shit. It was either,
92,
might
I
have been
believe.
5th grade.
My dad showed me the paperwork.
I remember my dad. The one thing I always liked about my dad, he'd always wake me up and have breakfast for me for school.
25 cents for lunch.
And he'd always give me a quarter for a snack at lunch.
Fruit roll-ups.
I don't remember. I don't think he was there in middle school. Maybe six. No, I don't know. But I ran up to bleachers, freaking crying,
Maybe.
and feeling better. By the way, uploading that first video now. The freaking dude came, punched me or smacked me or pushed me. I forget what. I think he pushed me. Just being a little freaking dick. And everybody had to grab me. I was gonna rip his fucking head off. Like I said, I was a scared little fucking emotionally traumatized little freaking kid, disturbed, just messed up. But when I'm already freaking past that, in that situation, I would have beat the living shit out of him.
That's actually funny. I said yesterday about fights, it mostly ended because I had too much internal suffering, disruption, trauma, too much going on even for a child, especially one that is surrounded by negative people, just to generalize it. You know, not positive. They're not. My family stopped acting like a family, I guess, before I was born, because again, I was the last one, 5 years after the last one, unexpected. So everybody already did everything with everybody else that they wanted to. I noticed the same thing with my own kids. I got 3 kids, 3 boys, 12, and then fraternal twins will be 11 this year. And yeah, my firstborn, we pictures, videos, went crazy. And twins, about half, which is expected, first time you go crazy. Second time, about half. But it was still, I still noticed the drop of interest after already doing it once with, my oldest. Don't be itching my nose. Sorry. So, and again, yeah, I noticed it, but luckily these kids are only a little bit more than a year apart. So now, after babies, everything's been all of us together. I always try to keep everybody together, doing things, getting things, everything, all three of them together. Sadly, that's also backfired because if I get something for one, I gotta get for them all, because then they fight if one gets something and the rest doesn't. It's like, come on, you can't win with people. It's like they always. That is a sad outlook on society, just the way people naturally begin. Not everybody, but in general, around me at least, like, yeah, I get it. I constantly give for all three, and then when only one gets one, the other two flip out. But it's like, why does that always seem like the default reaction to me? What I've observed. It's like, why isn't like gratitude just automatically there? Why does that got to be taught? Like, jealousy is already there. Boom. I don't mean to get off the video a little bit, just on the topic that was there. I was just thinking about how I felt when I seen other kids get things that I never did. I never got mad at them. I never got jealous. Never in a disruptive, negative way, but in a I wish it was me way. Not anything about them, but again, poor parents, freaking family that don't give two flying craps. And, it's like you see a kid having a good time with family and their friends and everything at like a birthday party, and it's like, I wouldn't be. I wasn't like, I'm just reflecting, like my reaction wasn't negative, it wasn't hateful or jealousy, it was, I wish I had that. Like, that was from my being within. That's how I was within, even though I was a silent kid in the corner of the room just observing. It was just like, internally, it was just clawing away at me. Just even as a kid, just observing that, it was like hurtful. Like, I wasn't really being negative. I was just like, that is such that, like, I was observing duality of the situation. I was seeing the blessings of the entire situation surrounding the birthday person, as the example. I would see all the joy and authenticity that was present, even as a kid. And then I would in turn, like, again, I'm inside watching everything. So that obviously that's the first place everything goes. And that's when self-reflection happens, and it's like, I wish I had that. Because I could see how nice it is, internalize it, and I see all that I didn't have then. Sorry for that sidetrack. So, oh yeah, reaction. So it's like, I just stop and think, like, why, like, that's the majority of what I've observed is always, the majority response is usually negative, jealousy, self-orientation. Whereas somebody who is, again, just from my own example, and it's like, I have been being oriented my whole life, so I never hated, witnessing that, I never hated them at all. I was just like, I wish I had that, and that was all I thought. And that would be, the only negativity was my own induced suffering for what I didn't have that was outside of myself, something from other people that I had no authority over. You can't create a happy family unless it's authentic, and that means other people have to be authentic themselves and together. And it's like, I was never negative about that. So it's like, why? So it's like, why? But again, if it's self-orientation, if that's a result of self-orientation, then again, who could you blame? The majority of things. If the majority of what is created by societies and cultures and everything else is self-oriented, then what'll happen? Generation after generation after generation of increase and continual self-orientation, therefore self-indulgence. Not that everything is bad from the self, but look around. Proof is in the pudding. So it's like, but that, again, that's just my observation. I'm just speaking myself here. I don't give a shit who agrees with me, who doesn't. I'm not telling anybody what to think. Now I'm trying to get back to the original point. And yeah, I am, when you see, like, when my eyes are just drifting, I internally operating, you could just say, to just say it in a plain ass way of understanding. I'm not thinking in the traditional sense. I could sit here and contemplate all day, like not even like I'm taking a walk. It doesn't drain me. It only, anything I contemplate or internalize doesn't influence me or affect me unless I allow it to, or unless something internal is going on that is overwhelming, and then that will therefore overwhelm the emotions and such, and that would come out. That's what I mean. Like, if I sat here in front of a book, if I sat here and didn't, like, I like math. I'm not a bit, I enjoy math. Just not getting into crazy freaking algebra and like just all the different ways of math and all that. I don't know, just general math was always fun for me. I just never took it further, nor do I want to. And that explanation took me off track, and I forgot the initial point. Oh, math. I could sit here and do math problems on paper all day. Crap, I didn't bring my fan down. Within a half an hour to an hour, I'm going to start getting a headache. And yet I could sit here and contemplate all day, and it's fun. I just want to point out, like, I'm not sitting here, like, when I say I'm internalizing, I'm not sitting here thinking, because that is, thinking is draining. Internally operating, that is just me internally being me. I've been rambling too damn long. I apologize. All right, back to the initial point. Why are the reactions primarily negative? That makes me believe that's a way of the self, basically. Now, why was I making the point on the kids? Yeah, because I wasn't. Yeah, because I was a last child, unwanted. I didn't have. I didn't. That's what I was going on. The example, the party example. What was the initial part of that? Shit. Why was I giving an example of, jealousy and then, observing? You know what? Forget it.
And then walking down the path, beat shit out of him.
I'll probably
Messed up. But when I'm already freaking past that, in that situation, I would have beat the living shit out of him.
Oh yeah, it was overwhelmingness. I apologize. I went pretty deep into that freaking spider web. Psst, get out of there, Snuggles. Get. About always being beaten down, and again, because of internal trauma. I mean, taking a physical beating, again, it is what it is. Nobody is stronger than everybody, nor do I need to delusionally convince myself of that, or be delusionally defiant being convinced of it. It doesn't make it, and people talk about logic. That doesn't make very logical sense. You get your ass beat, you don't. It is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do about it? If somebody's tougher than you, they're tougher than you. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win. Like, why does everybody bring ego and identity into it? And because they're self-oriented. That's my observation. But whenever I really did lose my cool, whenever I wasn't under the weight of suffering, to put it plainly, and somebody messed with me in like that situation, it's funny because every time I actually lost control, people always grabbed me. Every other time, they're usually the ones freaking picking or beating on me back then, and when I actually did flip out, they're the ones that usually grabbed me and held me back. All of that, just remembering a few things that were constant in my childhood. Just whenever I did lose my cool, where I would have just went off and not, acted like a baby, to, say it plainly, which I'm not wasting any more time.
And then
Let's
walking
get to it.
down the path towards the.
I don't want another 3 hour. If this goes on too long, I'm going to literally stop it in the middle, or unless somebody interrupts me. But yeah, this is an hour and a half. Let's just get to it. I apologize for that little dig session.
Towards their house.
And yeah, that was live contemplation right there. All that rambling was in the moment, internalized, speaking as I'm also observing and internalizing at the same time. Just like I said, there's too much going on that I can explain. And it's annoying as shit how weird it sounds when you actually verbalize it or vocalize it. Except the people who are internally aware, nothing against those who aren't, should understand the amount internalized. Anything happening internally is far greater than anything your mouth or your body can express. Or hopefully, because that's mine.
Next to the field. And my dad came up, I was crying, he gave me a hug and everything, and I was really fucking hurt by that. I mean, I understood.
I did.
And I don't know how some people think, like, kids will think it's their fault. I don't know how the hell, that never crossed my mind.
It is 100% never the kid's fault. I will say that, I will declare that shit from my own point of view. Why? Every single person out there has their own free will. No matter what reason somebody leaves, it is still their own individual singular choice to make. It is never the child. So that no child anywhere ever should ever be even introduced or even be allowed for that thought to even be introduced to them. I don't care who agrees, who doesn't agree. That's me. You don't like me? Kiss my ass. That's literally, I don't care. Like, that's like unperformative. Like, I really don't give a shit. Why? Because if somebody's being negative, why should I give a fuck? I'm not doing anything or presenting anything in a negative way. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not harming anybody. I have no intentions of harm in any way, shape, or form, or to be negative or to present negativity. Therefore, anything negative thrown at me, anything at all, is unjustified. It is their own nonsense, their own ignorance, whatever you want to call it. The only thing negativity does is cause disruption and continual negativity. Is there any value in that other than information? Absolutely not after the fact. Therefore, if it's nonsense, Authentic and positivity get a pass on their own.
I never even
Shut up.
comprehended it. Well, it was my fault. I just understood when my dad was moving out. That was it. Didn't explain it to me in detail or anything.
I don't even remember him saying it other than him blurting it out once, and it
Yeah,
was
that
like,
sounds
I knew.
annoying on freaking camera.
They didn't tell me anything. I don't remember a single discussion. I just remember him coming up to me when he was leaving and telling me, and I knew. I just, like that. I knew, and I bolted. I just broke down and bolted. And it's funny, his little, his poster boy. Still is. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I can't determine somebody else's value to somebody else. It's funny because, well, not funny. Not funny at all. It's just, a little bit of an oxymoron. You're number one, and you're leaving, and he just goes, he's laying on the couch, and my dad just said he went like this, goodbye, see you later, Dad, or bye, Dad. Like, just didn't move, just literally put his arm up, bye, Dad. Versus the unwanted one, showed true love and care, broke down, and took off. I hate ignorance. Oh, shove it up your ass with that vaping.
Sorry, this shit just tastes good too.
Yeah, but it's annoying on freaking audio.
Strawberry fruit chew.
Yeah,
Extra
I'd like some of that right
strawberry
now.
fruit chew.
I got sour straws.
But yeah, my dad said, he told me this a bunch of times that, I acted like that, and then, he said, in his words, what's my brother do?
Oh, I actually did say
He's on
it.
the couch, laying down with you. I'll see you later, Dad. That was it. It's actually fucked up because I don't know if he notices it or it's intentional, but my brother's always been his favorite. And he freaking, it's just plain as day.
I'm just listening. I don't need to watch myself. I'm just laying there talking.
Anthony, I actually had to tell him to stop. It's just annoying. It's like, I've been here all along, sticking by family, taking care of family, and my brother freaking that moved out to Pittsburgh after he left the army, and hardly ever comes in. And then it's all Anthony. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying it's disrespectful.
Yep.
I chose to stick around this area because, I wasn't going to leave my mom, my dad, and shit like that when everybody else was gone.
Damn it, what was I literally just... I tried to backtrack because there was two things there. And I just had a complete brain fart. Yeah. Yeah, my brother, he got out of the army, he got a job offer in Pittsburgh, and away he went, and, we suddenly went from being family to being, twice a decade visits, if that, you know? I mean, like, again, everybody else is as they are. Like, I might not, know, I don't really, I mean, I know that, but I'm not really viewing that. I mean, too negative there. Still, worse was coming, but now, like, again, people are who they are, and accepting that completely was one thing I didn't do yet. I already know everybody else is as they are, and yet that's the missing thing. I kept thinking everybody was internalizing as I was, and everything negative everybody was doing was obvious and deliberate to them. Whereas, again, if my brother is simply self centered oriented, which from my observation, he largely is, because one big knock it off. I gotta pause it. Freaking kids, man. I just ask them, just be quiet. You don't have to fight. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to sit there like a statue. Just play quietly while I do this, and that is all. Even that is too much to ask for in my own house. Which, whatever, they're just kids, I know, but it's still not asking a lot. Logically, that's bullshit. It's annoying. It is what it is, though. Just an annoyance, that's all.
I don't even. My dad even told me, he's like, I don't care, move. He's like, if you want to move, move. He's like, don't stick around here on my cord or my account. Yeah, well, that's not what.
Yeah. And I've been stuck in Northeast Pennsylvania my entire life because I will not abandon those I have every single reason in the world to abandon. Because again, everybody around me, the majority, just been negative. That's just, pick a litter. That's just simply how it is for me. The majority of the I already warned them. I'm going to ground them for a whole week. No internet, no outside in the summer. But it's like everybody else was moving away, and yet the black sheep of the family stuck around. Like the literal black sheep of the family, me, like unwanted and nobody cared. Even in my own family, I was picked last. That crap. I'm not being like, it is what it is. I don't give a shit. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to say it as it is. As eyewitnesses, I experienced it, and that's that. And yet, who's the one that's still sticking around? It's funny. I'm not a societal or financial success. Therefore, the majority of people I've been around would, how do I put that? That's their entire outlook of me through their eyes is, well, he's not successful, so, and here comes the negative filter. Therefore, here comes, he's this, he's that. Well, you're not successful, so you're a failure. And yet, how does that matter? How does that dictate who a person is? It doesn't. So who's in the wrong? Who is the ignorant one, short-sighted one? The one that sacrifices their own individual freedom away from any past attachments and chooses to stay around family as everybody else leaves just so they're not abandoned and alone, because I was already in that pretty much my whole life. I'm not whining. It is what it is, and it's just like I wouldn't want family to experience that. So yeah, man, this is gonna take a while. This is gonna be in pieces. I already know it now. So it's like, it's just funny. The one the one that others cared for the least or not at all is the one given the most care out of all of them that have been around, and all of them put together. That's funny.
Family does. Like my brother, he had a job offer, a career opportunity. Me?
I should have watched these again at least once, which I'm glad I didn't.
Videos.
Yeah.
Just a warm up.
Yeah. I would have. Yeah, that's like, shut up with that. That's why I'm over here.
Trying to think of what to cover.
Well, you went too far forward. You're supposed to start the earliest, not at
after my
12 years old.
parents got divorced. That was it. That's when I really raised myself.
Yeah.
Freaking. I think the only time my mom actually bought me clothes, new clothes. One time I really remember it was like school, like for the first day of school.
I said that in the last video. I said that in the last one.
I remember downstairs in the basement, from the washer and dryer, there was just mountains of clothes. I'd be doing my own laundry too.
It's freaking sad.
All the time. She never did laundry. And I remember just shuffling, just rummaging through the fucking piles looking for something to wear. Or just out and about, or school, whatever. They're like freaking scumbags. Yeah, freaking right in the back of my throat. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
Yeah.
You don't have to live like that.
Oh, I thought I was going somewhere else with that.
I've never had my clothes neatly folded in a drawer or, hanging in a closet. Honestly, it was always just piled all over the floor, just piled on top of dressers, shoved in dressers. Nothing was ever neat or organized. I mean, it was just clusterfuck. I don't think we had dinner at the table after that either. After my parents divorced, except when my dad came down. I really don't remember ever sitting down as a family and eating dinner at the table after my dad left. Yeah, speaking of that, I remember one time I took too much spaghetti.
I'm just being a ham over here.
One hot,
here we go.
One burned me. I took too much. I couldn't finish it. He flipped shit. I wouldn't finish it. So what's he do? Comes up behind me, shows my face, and a fucking plate full of spaghetti.
Obviously. Now you see, I tell that, and the only response I get is the reaction. Oh, the shock. Oh, he did that. Yeah, I mean, but why stop there? Doesn't anybody else ask why ever anymore? Is anybody out there asking why at all? And not stopping with the negative reaction, like, oh, how dare he? Yeah, so what? It happened. It sucked. But it's also important to understand why. Again, he had his own reasons, even though the choice was wrong. He was, something was influencing him in a negative way. Now, this is just based on like my own experience about like just snapping at people, even my own kids. Like if I'm worked up and they're bugging me, I might just leave me alone, like flip out, stuff like that. And it's like, if you look at a situation like that, it's like, well, maybe he was overwhelmed and I was just an easy target. I just made him snap, Doesn't excuse what was done, but it's important to ask why all the time. I do. I ask why, I observe and I ask why all the time. That's wonder. Why is this the way it is? Anything at all. Even ask me, why am I the way I am? I don't freaking know. I've always been this way. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I'm expressing from. The same, why the hell am I so constantly singular, unchanging my entire life? I don't know. That's why everything, that's why all the, yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna, let's just play it.
Now, I could see if we barely had any food at all and we were wasting it. I was wasting it.
Which we actually didn't have much food at all. We didn't back then.
We've been there. I'm there freaking right now. We were struggling. But just to do that, just to be a dick the way he was, no. Well, since I'm on the subject of him being a dick, I'll just talk about him now.
I just want to point out now, I just basically call him a dick and moved on. I wasn't moving from the incident and asking why back then. I was too busy carrying all that negative within. Still there. That's 8 years ago. I didn't get through. The worst of my life is yet to come. During the last 8 years, or rather 6.5, since everything changed a year and a half ago. Like I said, that's old me there, old mentality, but underneath all the suffering was still me, because that's where the suffering came from. Because it was just disruption observed and internalized from internally. So, yeah, I was literally 4 decades, from 3 to 43. Well, I was the more I suffered growing, as I aged and everything, experienced life, the suffering just grew and grew and grew and grew, until it wasn't that I didn't see any positivity. It's just there was too much disruption and negativity that's all I seen anymore. Like, that was the focus. Even though deep down I was still observing positivity, or the absence of it in the negativity.
Let's see. I remember one time, what the hell was I was on? Yeah, I was on the toilet, and I got done, and the roll of toilet paper came down, and it rolled, and it literally just barely touched the floor. Just one strip of toilet paper. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, it wasn't all the way down and rolled on the floor, wrapped up on the floor or nothing. It was just, just hanging there. He called all three of us up, me, my brother, and my sister, up in the bathroom. Who did this? He's flipping mad. I mean, I didn't do anything deliberate, so I started laughing. He comes out, he fucking rushes me, he grabs me, and, like, the bathroom door is here. My bedroom door was right here. Like, it was, you literally step out of the bathroom, turn to the right. My bedroom door was about literally one adult step, and you'd be in the doorway. He goes into the doorway, picks me up like this, like he's about to power slam me, and just chucks me about.
Hi, Snuggles.
See, it's hard to think, because I mean, last time I slept in that room,
About 8 feet.
I was like 13, 14. More than half my, no, it's about, more than half my life ago.
Come on, Snuggles. Yeah, love you, buddy.
Probably flew about, I don't know, 8 or maybe 10 feet. 8 to 10 feet. I don't know. I can't.
Who knows the size of the room back then, but
I never actually comprehended or paid attention to how big the room was, like measurement-wise. Who the fuck cares when you're that young?
that's creepy. It really is. I am not trying to say the exact same thing I said there. I'm not like. I've never watched this, and I don't remember every single dang thing I've said. So to literally just express myself now, and then 8 years ago I said the same exact thing, not word for word, because Like, what kind of kid understands the size of a room by measurement? And then again, I internalize the size of a room is generally usually 6 to 8 feet wide. A room, the small, not a tiny, but a regular small bedroom. And then through me, it was a little diagonal, so it was probably about a foot more. So yeah, 8 to 10 feet. 8 was the minimum about from the doorway. Or it could have been less if he stepped in. I don't remember. But now, since I paused, I'm just going to say it real quick before I'm just probably going to condemn it and move on in the video. Again, going by myself, my own example of myself, how I would be, like what would cause me to act that way in a situation, which I never went to that extreme, but I have reacted in a negative way. And it is simply the accumulation of weight, disruption, negativity, etc., where you're taking on, like, more negativity is being, brought inward more than what could be digested, so to speak. Like, again, like I said yesterday in the video, like as if you're getting food shoved down your throat more than you could process and get rid of it out the backside. And what happens in that situation? Somebody snaps. If my dad was worked up, I was an easy target. Like, that doesn't excuse. I'm just saying, like, I was just that trigger, like, that just made him snap over something as stupid as a roll of toilet paper, just literally just going to about, just almost or just touching the floor. Not all piled up. But again, got to ask why. Now I am. Like, why would he do something like that? Again, it doesn't excuse him, but there was something more going on to cause him to react that way. And the point is to find out what and help the person, not condemn them. You condemn them, that's just negativity on negativity, depending on how severe it is. Most people, even if they're not aware of it, from my observation, just need help. I mean, anytime I react negatively, it's, again, my reaction. It's not choice. It's just I'm reacting from being overwhelmed by disruption and negativity.
I fucking flew. My back hit the wall like this. Boom, on the bed. Literally just poof, boom. And it wasn't no playful throw here, man. I fucking flew through the air. For what? Just for the fucking toilet paper?
This is the kind of stuff I want to get into.
I never understood that.
This is what I was waiting on.
Another freaking
See, I even said it.
Thing.
What the hell's going on? Not volume. Not volume. You prick. Why the... Yeah, volume go down. Where did the... There it is. Why the heck... It's the app. Yeah, you see, yeah, I almost lost my train there. See what I said right there? I don't understand. I wasn't asking deeper questions yet. In that example. I wasn't asking why he did that. I was just condemning it. I was saying that was wrong, and that's the end of it. Condemn, condemn, condemn. Which is wrong. That's just negativity and negativity. What does that? What you add those two together? What do they bring? More negativity. It's like once you understand once you understand that, it's like unless it's present to deal with, I don't carry that kind of crap around with me anymore.
Oh, me and Mikey, we'd always have campfires. Properly, though.
Long book of matches.
Let's get done eating. I mean, we had a good time making proper fires. You clear out a little spot. We didn't dig into the ground, but we just cleared out a spot. They just circle the rocks around. We were doing this in single digits. Which I think I was still saying, I was still like maybe 6, 7, something like that. And we just make a normal little campfire. No reason. We weren't trying to burn anything down. We wouldn't bother it outside the rocks. We just a little fire. I remember walking from the front room through the kitchen out the back door, and I noticed on the table, my mom had a pack of matches. I thought they were cool because they were literally like freaking 6 inches long, not tall, wide, long wise. So I grabbed them and I went up the back. Met them. We made a little fire. Here comes my dad up the path. Fucking grabs me, starts kicking my ass all the way back home. It's because I took a pack of matches. Or was it because of the fire? I mean, yeah, it was pretty much because I took the matches.
Yeah, and again, flipping out because I took matches. Why? Why would he flip out? Because it's one, taken what I shouldn't, was dangerous and wrong. He was also ignorant and unobservant because he didn't notice we were only having a campfire and we had a circular of rocks. And every time we had a little campfire, we'd take a walk, a hike in the woods, sit down, make a fire, and just literally like a bunch of old guys sitting around a fire or a garage drinking beer and bullshitting. That's what we do. Start a fire and just hang out, screw around. Nothing bad, nothing dangerous. We weren't playing with the fire. We would just make a fire and just have fun, keeping it going, stuff like that. We never really did anything dangerous with it. It was like, it's funny. Here I am, like, early to mid elementary school, probably early elementary school age, and actually being completely safe. And that was completely unobserved. That shocks me. It really does. Like, I have a lot of situations like that throughout my childhood. Like, I got in trouble, but I was actually going out of my way to be safe doing it. It's like, what? Oh, ignorant freaking parents. Let this play already. Let it go. It's freaking long. It's going to take me a long time to do.
If that was me with my kid, and I walked up there and I seen what they were doing, a proper fire, they weren't playing with it, I'd simply come up. My son's name's Joey, like me. So I'd say, Joey, you take the matches.
Yeah, the snuggle kitty.
Yeah.
Mr.
All right, give me them. Be careful with that. That's it.
Thanks, Snuggles.
No need to fucking beat some ass for that. Yeah, I've gotten a belt over my bare ass, over his knee before. I remember the beating, but I don't remember what it was for.
Top of the stairs in the hallway.
I wish my dad drank more though.
Yeah.
He hard. I remember, maybe I can count on one hand how many times I've seen him drunk growing
I'm
up.
like
He was
I'm like
always
him.
nice as hell. He was always in a good mood. That's how. He should have kept drinking. Alcoholic wise, but just, one beer here and there to relax. That's what I do. I drink maybe a case of beer in the span of a year. I get stressed that bad, I have one beer, maybe two, and I'm just relaxed. I don't need to get shit faced. I just need to relax, calm down, and just chill.
Another example, and this is just me self-analyzing and speaking it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not, nothing else. That is another orientation of being evidence for myself from the inside looking out. I never change who I am, no matter how much I've drank or how much medical marijuana I've consumed or illegally as an early teen. I have never, ever not been me. That means the influence the substances have had on the body were only on the body. The one within the body still never changed. Because even when, again, one or two beers and my body relaxes, and then that relaxes everything else. Since most issues come from superficiality. Disruptions here. Because I don't willingly cause disruptions here. Because I already know what comes from that.
Oh, I think.
Talk more, vape less.
I mean, I got my ass beat for freaking anything and everything. Even stupid reasons. But he was also a good dad. Like I said, about waking me up in the morning for school. He never, I've always been weird. Even as a kid, just even a calm or a positive environment or action or somebody being that way towards me, I always appreciate it, and it always things just what's the freaking, how do I put it?
Internalizing.
Like, I'd always be in a better mood, more motivated, and everything would be great. Waking up by my dad waking me up that way in just a nice, normal tone. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joey. Get up. Time for school, buddy. Versus my mom. Joey! Time to get up for school! Every freaking 5 seconds. Joey! Just screaming their freaking head off. Mm-hmm. And then having breakfast ready for me and getting a quarter for freaking school. I mean, it was just, even as a kid, I appreciated that.
That's actually, I'm still going to make the video on that. I was actually going to do that today instead of this, but I'm in a better mood today. So I figured, you know what, let me go with this slightly, like in a more positive state, because I know now we're getting into, again, finally the meat and potatoes, the things I want to talk on. What I wanted to express today on the fly was environment. Your environment and its influence on you. And I said it right there. I just I didn't take it deeper. I didn't understand deeper yet. Like, I understood by default, by observation, experience, etc., but I wasn't aware of the single reference of its structure. So, a way to put it. Like, again, I understood, but I understood, but not completely yet. The influence of your environment. I was saying it there, but I didn't completely know it yet. Again, if you're in a positive environment, I'm just going, like, I'm going to make a video on this and just go on it, like I am here. No script, no nothing, just on the fly. That is one thing I have observed all my life. The influence of the environment. When you are surrounded by a more positive, a more authentic, unperformative environment that's, not judging, toxic, negative, and all that crap. Everything is better. Everything was better for me. Everything. I felt better. It was just indescribably better for me in every way it could be. And then when the environment is negative, it influences me in a negative way. It makes me feel in a negative state. Angry, sad, depressed, frustrated, uneasy, etc. So again, me here, if somebody understands that, the influence of your environment, why would I ever be accepting of a negative environment? That's wrong. My kids, autism, 2 of them got disabilities, that they get a pass to a point. Again, I am never going to, no matter what's wrong with them, no matter if they can understand or never will, I will never stop educating them towards a more positive embodiment of their own self, their own being, everything they are authentically, and to then negatively, especially the environment for me and them, because again, if I understand its influence, it's no different than with anybody else, even if they're not aware of it, unless there's something greater of influence bypassing any environmental influence. Disruption. Oh, thank God I'm just going on a reference and not going on the fly. But again, environment. Like, analyze that shit yourself. Like, honestly, it's just common sense to me. I just went deeper with it. Like, I always knew that, but I never kept going with it and understood it to it being an actual structure of influence and not just my own point of view. You get it? There's my own point of view, and then there's something that's, I mean, you could say universal. Because, I mean, again, environments have their own influences. I hear they're getting disruptive again. Let's get on with this. They're getting annoying. And I've probably been doing this for like over an hour, and I'm only 20 minutes into the video. Like I said, this one's going to be in pieces.
But, no, he wasn't always a dick. I mean, he was half the time he was, half the time he wasn't. Like, I remember I had this freaking heavy-ass metal bike. That thing was like a freaking shit brown burgundy-like color.
Hard rubber tires, solid.
Hard rubber freaking wheels.
Solid tires.
Training wheels. It was that long ago. I remember right in front of the house.
Cherished memory.
He took the train wheels
Cherished
off.
event.
Just like you see in the movies and all that shit. He took me on that bike. He you know, just like your dad, just like Dad should. You just get him on there, get him started, give him a push, let him go. That was it.
Away I went.
I remember that as clear as day in my head. He gave me a push. I didn't fall. I learned how to ride a bike on two wheels. That was it. And we'd always like play catch with baseball or football and shit like that. Like he was great and bad. I mean, it was heads and tails, you know. I dealt with a lot of shit, but I appreciate all the good. And my mom, she used a big wooden spoon. I'm sure a shitload of you got the same.
Put it away.
I got that freaking. I've actually got the. What was it? I think it was the spoon I got broken over my ass. So then she started using the fork. They were actually hanging on the wall in the kitchen. Fork on one side, spoon on the other.
I apologize for that mic placement. Like I said, I never watched these yet.
I'm just trying not to jump around.
Well, you're not even starting from the beginning yet.
After making that video earlier, like, just got my brain going. I started thinking. Oh, but yeah, after the divorce, my freaking mom. I mean, she'd be going out all the time to the bar and going on dates and shit like that. Well, I assume that's where she was going. She never brought anybody home.
I don't know where my earlier childhood is. I mean, I referenced a few bit in the last video, but now I'm jumping to freaking, like, 11, 12 years old. Hopefully I didn't leave out a lot of childhood. I mean, I generalized some. Like I said, I don't remember.
I don't think she did. Not till much later on when she actually, you know, had like a boyfriend. Like a long-term relationship. I remember it was freaking stupid. Freaking her one boyfriend asked me one day, "Hey, do you like rollerblading?" Anybody with half a brain would have said, "Yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna get some rollerblades out of them." What do I say? Not really. I'll never forget that. Later on, I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm a stupid idiot.
It's because he caught me off guard. I remember clearly. I was laying on the floor watching TV, and it was just a random question. It was like, again, even back as a child, I internalized first, and when something is just sudden, it's like I haven't had time to process, and that's the stupid response I gave. And then later on, I had a moment, and I was like, "Shit!" We probably would have offered a pair of rollerblades, and I was like, "Nah," because again, I wasn't used to getting anything. I wasn't used to generosity or presents or gifts or anything.
Yeah, diet soda. You got any dental problems, toothache, shit like that? Stay away from regular soda. Same thing with acid reflux. Those two things plus my parents never teaching me to brush my teeth is what frickin' gave me so many frickin' problems. My teeth growing up, and even now I'm still frickin' paying, getting them fixed, and still paying for it because all we had to drink iced tea or soda, regular soda. So if you just wake up in the morning, you went to sleep drinking soda without brushing your teeth, wake up in the morning and not brush your teeth, and then immediately be drinking soda, and it gives you acid reflux, all the acid coming up and going in your mouth. Forget about it.
Yep.
Don't do it. So, so then frickin' even when I was 15, I'll get to all that eventually, but I went somewhere and I was actually probably taught. That's where I fucking actually started brushing my teeth myself, and I was just taught shit that I wasn't taught at home.
Good old St. Mike's.
So, I brush my teeth 3 times a day. But I was still drinking regular soda. I still had acid reflux problems.
I still had more problems.
So it was fucking pointless. I kept freaking getting toothaches, having to go to the dentist, and freaking all this bullshit. Until my very early 20s. I was maybe 22 or 20. I forget. I went to a dentist. He was actually a distant cousin, and he told me about regular soda. He's like,
taking a
yeah,
nap.
he's like, a girl younger than you, pretty girl, comes in here. She's like, her mouth is a wreck. He's like, she loves fountain sodas. He's like, that's all she freaking drinks. The regular,
go to sleep.
Regular soda from the fountains. And he said apparently that's worse.
Go to sleep, buddy.
But that's what did me in.
I wouldn't wake up and be bothered if somebody was petting me when I was taking a nap.
That's because I have so many dental problems.
And he puts his head right.
Well, regular soda, shit that came with that, and the lack of my parents teaching me proper, never teaching me anything. That's why I always blame them. It's like, who's responsible for kids? Parents. I said that in the last video. Parents are responsible 100% for their kids, for teaching them everything until they are self-sufficient, self-reliant. I forget what the hell the word was.
Man, shit.
Pretty much till the freaking bird leaves the nest. Until they're out on their own and they're no longer, right under your care. It's always.
You got ugly feet. Get them out of here. I'm gonna hit you. Boom.
How are people supposed? How a kid like anybody supposed to just learn things naturally? Well, yeah, learn them naturally, and you get like dental problems like I've been freaking dealing with my whole life.
Mailman legs.
That's how you
Mailman feet.
learn the hard way. That's all I know. everything I've ever been taught or know, or it's always been the hard way.
Yep. Internalize it first instead of self first, and yeah, when the hard way for me has always been because internalize first, not self first orientation. Again, to condense that, it's just self-centered. That's not completely bad. Authenticity in self-centeredness gets a pass by default. Authenticity gets a pass by default for being authentic and lacking of any disruption of the thing itself. So even somebody self-oriented but living authentically, there is nothing bad you could say about them. Again, somebody that's completely fulfilled their entire life, their entire being, everything that they're aware of, they're fulfilled by even a societal role. Mechanic, firefighter, police, whatever, lawyer, anything, doctor. Even if the scheduling doesn't consume their life, if that is a natural, authentic orientation of them to just their whole life is nothing but that, even off the clock, how could anybody argue that? As long as it's authentic and undisruptive. But learning the hard way, again, the self-centered. Again, well, if the self is your orientation, that is self-centered. It just, again, everything else is that it is. If it's authentic, it is that it is that it is. It's not always good or bad, authentic or disruption. So being self-oriented and being self-centered, again, that's just another lower or a more superficial, condensed way of it's like self-centered is here, self-orientation is deeper and below it in reference of understanding. But self-centered isn't always a bad thing. And that is the majority of, well, at least this country. Because look what is idolized, mirrored, reflected, and everything else in society nowadays. Basically, to just say one thing as an example, basically worshiping rubber, plastic, and fake people, idolizing them. I don't idolize me. I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of. I'm not being negative towards anybody. I'm literally just laughing at the ridiculousness of it, from my own understanding. That's all. Again, authenticity has its own. It is what it is. I can laugh at it too if I want, though. There's always distraction. It's like, yeah, say you idolize a celebrity. Get out of here. Again, that's me. I'm not making that gesture towards anybody else. Somebody wants to be, if somebody is that way, that is who they are, what they are, whatever. But it's like copying, mirroring, etc., another person that is only putting on a performance or disrupting even their natural physicality. Again, there's nothing better than authenticity to a point. I mean, obviously, if you're physically disfigured, you know. But like mirroring somebody else in any way, shape, or form is a disruption of your authentic everything, of your own being and self. That's how I look at it. So, which is why I find it ridiculous, why I was laughing. You know what? Enough sidetracking.
Yeah, my kids, luckily,
like I said, I'm
just like steal our bottles of soda. I drink
gonna lift it up
like
today.
this. It's just easier because in it, like from a 2 liter in a glass, it goes flat so quick. These, right, it stays fresh all the way through the bottom. Yeah, I have to drink diet because regular soda gives me acid reflux. Orange juice, I can't drink that. Most juices I can't drink them regularly. If anything, any juices or anything, I water it down to hell where it basically tastes like flavored water. Same thing with iced tea. Iced tea, I mean, you don't really taste the sugar in it. You taste just the iced tea flavoring, and that's it. Going up, forget about it. I'd be freaking practically drinking freaking more of the sugar than water added.
The cat, right here.
Oh, I remember my dad's car though. After he got divorced, always coming. It's a
Green.
booger green, light booger green
Bonneville.
Pontiac Bonneville.
Lamont. Was it Bonneville?
Some late 80s model. There's everything.
It was a Le Mans.
That's the car when I first started learning how to wear a seatbelt. I think it was like 13.
No. Yeah, it was a Le Mans. It wasn't a Bonneville. My dad had the Le Mans, and his brother-in-law had the Bonneville.
And it was just a random thing.
Yep.
I can remember sitting in the front seat and thinking to myself, I want to start wearing my seatbelt. I just made a habit of it every time.
And I've been ever since.
And when I started driving myself, same thing.
I can't without it.
I never drive without wearing my seatbelt. I mean, would you go on a roller coaster without the lap bar or the seatbelts on that? No. My car's more dangerous. That's how I look at it. I'm uncomfortable without my seatbelt too. I don't know. It's just very uncomfortable. You can drive a lot better too with your seatbelt on. Without it,
I was literally about to pause this and say that. I was literally about to pause it and say that same freaking thing. I was about to say, because I'm over here just chilling. I was internalizing as it passed me speaking. And I was about to say, yeah, when you have your seatbelt on, you feel more planted in the seat. You're not trying to hold yourself in position if you're in like any car and you're taking a turn too hard, and if you're getting pulled out of the seat and you got to therefore put extra effort to hold yourself in. Whereas with a seatbelt, you can use all your muscles, all your focus, all your body on controlling the car, feeling the car as an extension through your hands, through your feet, your butt, every part of you that's connected to the car. Again, you feel every bump, every vibration. You just have to be aware of it and pay attention. So the more planted you are in the car, the more you feel through your physicality of what the car is doing. Again, a car misfiring, you can feel that vibration through the car. Even if you can't hear it, you can feel the vibrations as you're driving it. The more planted in the seat and to the car you are.
Yeah, you're holding on a steering wheel.
My own observation.
The seatbelt, you really don't move much. What the fuck is... I scratched my freaking behind my knee. She's blasting music down there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this
Fifth grade field
today.
I'm just bouncing around here. You know what? I don't give a fuck. Fifth grade field trip I was talking about earlier. One classmate freaking pulled my pants down after school in front of everybody and got this last strike and got pulled off it. That was fun. That was a good time. That was actually the only field trip I went on where I actually was given money. Every other field trip
Nope.
throughout freaking elementary school, I could watch everybody else either come with their parents or have money to buy shit at the gift shop. I never had anything. That one, I had $20.
That hurt. That hurt a lot.
Back then, yeah, that was a decent amount too, especially for a kid. Nowadays, $20 is freaking what? Burger King.
Hi, Pickles.
Yeah, I remember I went down there and I bought a whole bunch of different colored frog figurines.
No, you're not coming out.
I wonder where that noise come from. And we went on this ship, this old wooden sailing ship that was docked in the harbor. And they said not to jump up on the side because you might drop your shit in the water.
Nah, I did it.
One person had something round and floatable. Floater rather. I don't know if it was a softball or what, I forget. Well, he jumped up on the side and to look over and he dropped it. And guess what? Like a jackass, I did the same right after. Except I had a bag with my figurines in it. I jumped up, I dropped it, there it goes. Went into the water and it sunk to the bottom. That pisses me off even to this day, because those fucking frog figurines were cool as shit. I mean, they were like black and orange or black and green, like the bright neon colors. I mean, they were fucking cool. Yeah, I went to the aquarium down there. That's where I got them. Yeah, I remember we left at like 6 in the morning. And where I took 2 meatball hoagies, Reds, down with me. Those were good.
Dart frogs, that's what they were. I had a whole bunch of dart frog figurines. And they were, oh man, I honestly, I'm looking up right now because, again, I'm sorry about this setup and everything. I don't have the right lighting to clear that green screen so it doesn't show up on the screen on my computer yet. So I'm just using my phone. And my phone is just leaning up against my monitor. So I'm just looking up real quick. Yeah, the figurines, that's what they were. Man, I honestly miss those. I thought those were so cool as a kid. Like I had a black and yellow, black and blue, oh, that's a nice one. Bronze dart frog. But yeah, enough of that. I just wanted to look up real quick what they were just to remember to buy some more. I still want those. I still want my frogs. Those were that cool. They really were. I thought those things were they were just so neat looking.
That was the first time I was ever out of state too.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah. Speaking of long frickin', I'm just gonna frickin' talk in it. Just all my early childhood shit. I remember it as I remember it. I remember going to the airport, picking up people that either went to California or came back because my mom's brother, pretty much everybody on my mom's side of the family moved out there. See, my aunt, her kids, I think it was like two or three cousins, and an uncle, or her brother.
If I don't get into it specifically, this gives me another idea, a topic of discussion, or a reference point rather. If, like say people like hearing like a singular topic, based on their life, I'm thinking, that would be a good one. Go over as much as I could remember throughout, starting from childhood on, as much of the disruptions and sufferings. Just literally name every single influenced interaction event that happened that hurt, that's worth just speaking. Not, oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, I had a hard life. No, literally just here's what happened. That's the result. This is what happened in the moment and the result of it. And that's it. Maybe what I've learned on it, if I learned anything at the time, or what I learned on it now, or whatever. That's a good idea. I'm going to try to remember that.
I think it was I think it was just my mom's sister and brother and my mom's sister's kids. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. And that was like the only side of family, people from that side of family we fucking bothered with. and my grandma would go out like every other year and shit. I remember we'd be on the highway going to pick him up. And the damn door again. I remember me and Johnny in the back seat.
Oh,
It's funny on the
SpaghettiOs.
highway. Back
I don't
then,
even know where that came
ride
from.
seemed to take forever.
Only half an hour, too.
Now it's like, Plymouth to the Avoca, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport's like, what, half an hour? If that. And it's funny, every time we see a rig going by, it's like, oh, SpaghettiOs.
I don't know.
SpaghettiOs.
I don't know where that came from.
Kid games. It was fun.
I know I've heard it online.
Tell you,
Obviously, after
don't ever be in a rush to grow up.
never knew where it came from back then.
The only time, everybody went out there except for me, somewhat. My mom took me out to California when I was like 1.5, or somewhere between 1 and 2. Yeah, we had a few pictures, and that was it. That was it. I don't know why the hell I can't remember anything before age 4, except for like maybe 5 quick memories, and that's it. I never looked it up. I never really inquired. Even at that age, I wondered that. Like, even when I was really young, I still wondered about that. It's like, I mean, there's something wrong with my brain, or is it just, that's how people are? Is it your brain's still developing, didn't develop enough yet, or what? Speaking of that, I was born December 1st, 1981, the old Mercy Hospital in Wilkes-Barre. I was born at 6:45 in the morning, 8 pounds, 14 ounces. And me and my mom both almost died. They actually gave us both our last rites. I don't know what they never told me exactly what the hell was going on. My mom's always health problems. Always.
One second. It's disruption. It's like, I hate that. Even in my own house, I can't even get a few hours of quiet. Like, yeah, they're just kids. But does that make it okay? No. It still bothers me, no matter what delusion or explanation I put on it. Well, the delusion is saying it makes it okay. From a negative response, it makes it okay, but, and there he goes again. It's like, I literally tell him, there's no reason I should hear him laughing all the way down here with my headphones on. I'm only asking for some quiet for a couple of hours. It's like, I can't even get that at home. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's okay. It's still disruptive. It still bothers me. It's like, that's not much to ask for, and I can't even have that in my own house. It's like, literally, it doesn't matter if there's an excuse. I can't have that simple thing, and it sucks. It's disruptive, no matter what you say about it. Doesn't matter. It is still disruptive and a bother. But again, it's just, only time I write negatively is when it builds and builds and builds and builds. I ask, I talk nice, and it slowly raises from there. Every time you're inconsiderate, I get meaner and ruder. Because it's like, well, you're showing me you don't give a flying screw about me. Which, yeah, again, just kids, but it's like, it's still, I can't shut my awareness off. You know, let's just go get as far as I can before I can't anymore. I forgot what I was going to say about that, so I'll just go back 20 seconds.
And me and my mom both almost died. They actually gave us both our last rites.
You know what? I'll just say move on. That is one single piece of evidence that I have prior to awareness and memory and everything else that could be of influence for me beginning from being instead of the layer of self-orientation. I began from within. My orientation is within being level, not superficial self-orientation. I'm not primarily trying to please this thing. Even in sexuality, it's here first. If I want to please, just get physical pleasure, I could do that myself. Physical pleasure without this is like, I hate to tell you all, it's like nothing. It's like nothing at all. That's the difference. I'm just pointing out real quick between what I've observed, experienced, understand a bit between, completely physicality related and your internal being related. Because, I know the difference. Yeah, that's why I use sexuality as an example. I know the difference there. I've had mere physical pleasure, and I've had more from here. Being and self in the moment. Sorry, Snuggles? Not yet. But again, as soon as I was born, I was on the verge of death, given last rites and everything. And it's like, again, I don't know what that did, but that is just one single piece of evidence of what could explain being oriented internally instead of, just acting out physicality.
I don't know what they never told me exactly what the hell was going on. My mom's always health problems. Always. Yes, both so drugged up and shit. It's like, I'm just lucky to be here. No.
No, I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah. I was actually thinking this. I was just sitting over here. I was watching the turtle. I got a red-eared slider right next to me. I was thinking that same thing. I was just thinking, like, no, no, it hasn't. No, I'm not lucky. To get to where I am now, to the level of internalization and understanding and awareness, etc., that I contain within myself regarding my own being and all of the understandings, all the happenings, everything, would not have come to be if I didn't go through 4 decades of internal suffering. And one simple way of putting it, but it was nowhere near just one single thing. Imagine having an existential crisis for 40 years. Primarily that, with a little bit of relief here and there. That is the most basic, singular example of one part of freaking 4 decades of suffering internally until it all got reversed. I mean, literally inverted.
Let's see.
So, no. Oh. I'm not talking there. So, no, I have not been lucky. I am grateful now after the fact. But no, 4 decades of internally suffering being primary. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Would I do it again? I don't know. I don't know. Would I live this life again? I'm not, you see, I'm not disrespecting now. I am just thinking like what I went through and being in that moment in the past. It's like, if that's the case, no, I wouldn't want to, and I wouldn't wish it on any single human being that ever existed either. I'm not bragging. Suffering is the last thing you want to brag about. It's not a good thing.
I already went over all the bullshit in my childhood. Quick summary in the last video. Beat up, made fun of, picked on. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed.
I was just listening for a moment, make sure they're not doing anything they shouldn't be up there.
Yeah, I forget, I'm interested. I remember recess. I don't know how many times I got beat up at recess. That's what I hate. It's like they never physically really hurt me. I was just so fucking scared. And just, I was emotionally damaged.
No.
Like I was so emotionally hurt from it. That was all.
The emotions were secondary. It was my being that was suffering, carrying through into my physicality, my emotions. The suffering wasn't, why do I put it that way? Because the emotional reaction to it was secondary. It was down the line from the origination of the disruption internally. Nobody can understand the internal happenings from within, outward of me, but me. I am not debating that for anyone else, like as if they're any this way or that way. I don't care how anybody else is. Nobody else is under the microscope here. I'm putting myself there and I'm speaking on it, and that is all. It wasn't emotional. The first thing of it, the disruption, wasn't emotional. It was deeper. Like, again, I am not aware that I am primarily operating from being internally as if it is my being, because I think everybody is aware of the same internalization of themselves. So I don't make the proper references, because I think when people are speaking intellectually emotional, it's like those are intangible things happening within your body, but from your body. I was just not aware that, I don't know how to put that. I didn't know that word only meant the physicality, nor did I think or have any idea that my being was the influencer of the body. I thought it was all one, which it is, but yet it's they're two it's two different operations of me, yourself, that's the body, and your intangible self within. The driver of this. Or else has humanity been able to bring that out and put it under a microscope? Because no, they haven't.
I remember one kid that when he first picked me up in a recess. I remember every time I'd see him after that, he'd fucking chase me around town, try to beat my ass again. Never caught me though. Never caught me.
Jason Kane.
I don't know how many times that fucking happened. I'd just be walking down the street, all of a sudden I'd see him down the street. I'd see him down the road a bit. I'd just fucking take off through yards and shit like that. That's not
I was
fun.
an easy target.
Like that. How many times that happened? I remember the last time it happened, but I can't remember how old I was. One guy in one store used to sell cigarettes to us. Or him and a few other people were in a church parking lot roller skating. Or skateboarding rather. And I remember I seen this.
You see, I don't know how it is for other people, but the moment I knew exactly what I was talking about, I wasn't sure if I was talking about one store that used to sell underage or to sell tobacco to underage kids, one place or another. One was like a little hoagie shop, and the other was a bar and a candy store. Bar on one side, candy store on the other. Little shops that had a variety of stuff, but a lot of candy. But the moment I said there, a detail, everything just internalized. The entire bit and more of what I'm about to say just materializes in like milliseconds, just instantly inside. The whole scenario. Outside of a church, kids were the worker that was, cool kid, a few years older. They were skateboarding, and I seen one of the local bullies and another local bully coming down the street, and I ran over and started acting like I was hanging out with them, say, hey, what's up, man? Out of basically like, I'm going to come over here and hang out with you for protection, which I think I might have said that. I think I might have said, said something. But it's like everything just boom, it just comes right back. Like you said, well, it's memory. No. Like everything just gets internalized, like as if the moment is completely relived in milliseconds. So I don't know how other people internalize things like that, but I find that cool as shit. And I don't care if everybody does it. I find it cool, and I'm going to say it.
Douchebag. That freaking beat me up. Or would chase me around. I remember I seen him, and I ran over there, like, talking to him like I freaking was all buddy boy. Hey, man, what's up? And, hiding with him. I'm not sure if I said, no, I didn't say those guys are going to beat me up.
I don't remember.
I did that to an older guy. Right down the street from my house, actually. But my house was too far away to run to. So I seen the older guy on the porch, and I ran up on his porch, and I said, hey, those kids are going to kick my ass. Or those kids are going to beat me up. That guy was cool. He's probably dead by now. That sucks. Gotta get a new mod. It sucked, man. I remember every fucking day I'd live in fear from something. I mean, even my so-called friends always being fucking, I mean, yeah, we play normally most of the time, but like wolves, once they smell blood, forget about it. I just regret it now because I was so fucking emotionally fucked up.
No.
Between, my family freaking dad, my brother kicking my ass and freaking treat me like shit, and my friends treat me like shit, and all that name calling in school, and I was just so emotionally fucked.
Worse. Much worse.
Now, forget about it. I just try to avoid that shit because I don't want to go to jail.
Like, I don't know if this freaking phone's picking that up. They're playing with their trains on the freaking hardwood floor upstairs, right above me. I even told them the first time, don't do that, because it literally goes through the floor. Not to mention, it's getting hot. I'm getting sweaty. I was listening. I was just doing something on there real quick. Hello, Snuggles. What's up, kitty?
See, this shit just popped in my head. I had to stop and think for a minute. The first time I went fishing.
Mikey, rod, end of the rod, line, hook.
I don't know who, if it was him or me, we weren't allowed to go past Main Street. We weren't allowed to cross Main Street, which is pretty much where the elementary school was. Right there at Main Street. And we had the first day we had fishing line, hooks, and corn tied to a stick. We never caught anything. I wonder if our parents ever actually did too. You always hear about your parents telling you stories like, oh yeah, I cut on a piece of yarn and on a stick with a fucking piece of bubble gum. And, yeah, right. Never cut shit. Next day we went down, we had the top part of a pole. I forget when the hell we actually started with actual fucking fishing poles and reels and worms. Yeah, that was another thing. Another thing my brother beat me up for. Taking his fishing gear. I don't know if I don't remember if I ever actually took his whole tackle box. I'd take like his little crawfish lure. I'd get it snagged and lose it. He fucking beat my ass. Same thing with his porno mags. Beat my ass for that shit.
I go to the bathroom, and then I have something still from him that he used to beat my ass for when I was a kid. I just gotta find. I think it's behind my chair real quick, but I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'd get it snagged and lose it. He fucking beat my ass. Same thing with his porno mags. Beat my ass for that shit too. Those I put back. He actually put a fucking padlock on his door so I wouldn't go in his room and take them. Oh, yeah, that was fun. I remember a little kid finding my dad's porno mags. I remember I'd just randomly find them. My dad hide them wherever because my mom didn't like him having them. I'd find one. Oh man, usually on the second floor. So I'd go in the bedroom, I'd open up the window, and I'd fucking drop that shit down. I mean, how else am I gonna get out of the house without being seen?
Down your pants.
Then I'd run outside and hide it, and usually it was in the evening when I'd find them. Next morning, early ass morning, Mikey'd come up or something like that. I'd go get him. Hey, look what I got. Take the magazine, we'd go up the back by the bleachers, and we'd be all, ooh, eyes all wide, looking at a porno mag and shit.
I'm right
There were
here
some good
listening.
times. That was fun. I remember there was the announcer building behind the dugout in that baseball field.
One thing I want to point out. I forget what I was going to say because I just had to yell at them again. I'll just remind myself maybe.
That was fun. I remember there was
The point of this is this, the audio, not my face on screen or there. I'm just sitting there doing nothing but talking, and I'm just sitting here listening and expressing and talking. I'm not putting on a show. I don't need to be making faces, making reactions if they're not authentic. So yeah, I could be right here doing my own damn thing, listening. I ain't doing nothing distracting. That's what the point. And nor am I doing anything that needs to be on camera. Not doing anything really.
the announcer building behind the dugout in that baseball field. I mean, I don't know when the hell they abandoned it, but my whole life had no stairs to it. It just had a fucking, you look up and there was an opening about the size of a door where the stairs would go up.
It used to be such a pain to get up there too.
Half the floor was missing. I remember it was such a pain just to get up there. Just to fucking jump up, climb up. To hang out on that second floor. We hang out there all the fucking time. I've never seen people all the way up on the top of the roof on fucking on the third floor. Like 3 stories high, fuck that. Or is that 2 stories high? I don't know.
3.
It was tall. I mean, shit. I don't like heights. I wouldn't even go up on the very top of it today. But it's
2 stories. Ground, first story, which is the first level. Second story. 2 stories up.
That thing's been long gone for a decade or over a decade. I remember we used to smoke weed in there too. And I did that when I was mostly 13. Or was it 14? 13, 14. 15, very, very little. I got bored with that. That was boring. Honestly, I didn't care for it at all. Yeah, it's funny. Freaking my friend's dad, he was a cop. He was always an asshole to me. Always. I mean, if something happened, if we all got in trouble, no matter how many of us, I was to blame. It was always me.
I don't know if I did yet. No, I think my wife was pregnant with our first son when we ran into him for the first time since my teen years. And he even said he just thought I was a bad kid. Which is funny. 75% or more of all mischievous or bad ideas and deeds all came from everybody else. I know what I was doing wrong as a kid, but it was never something I got in trouble for. Anytime I ever did wrong, and it was my idea, I was always the one that got caught by myself. It's funny. I was the bad kid. No, man, it's sad how ignorant he was of his own kid and other kids around. Like, egging cars. I got in trouble. I'm going to probably talk about that too. It was me. Was it me and James or me, Mikey, and James? My sister ratted us out. It wasn't my idea. It was James's, I believe, or Mikey's. It wasn't mine. We went on the side of the house and we started egging cars going by. Well, James threw his and he egged a cop car and he got busted. He got us busted. He had community service and he didn't even get yelled at. And while me and him are standing next to each other in front of the cop, the other friend's dad, he is in my face yelling at me and didn't really say anything to James. It's sad how people could be around you for years and they have no idea who you are. But then again, if all you're looking at somebody is from the superficial level and not asking deeper questions, why are they doing this? Why are they like this? Or investigating deeply, well, I guess those people will just simply remain superficially ignorant. The only thing they know is superficiality. Man,
which
it
is
was.
actually quite funny because it usually wasn't. Which is actually funny because last time I seen him, my wife was pregnant with twins,
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
and yeah, I was bullshitting for a minute, and I asked her because I always wondered. So I asked, I'm like, why were you such a dick to me growing up? I was like, did you think I had more potential?
I was hoping that one. I really was when I asked
Whether I
him.
was acting or what? And he's like, no, I just thought you were a bad kid. It's like, gee, thanks a lot.
I haven't.
That was fucked up.
And since then, I haven't made any attempt to stopping bullshit with him ever again. Even if I see him, like even sitting on his porch, if I drive by the old neighborhood and stuff, like, you shown who you are. You shown the way you look at people or looked at me, and didn't try to understand me at all. So it's like, you know what? It was never close. He was never close to me, so it makes it that much easier to just write him off from any future interactions. I mean, I've done it to close family members that, again, blood doesn't excuse everything. Like, if somebody is negatively influencing you, or just negative, like that way, being ignorant and thinking you're a bad person because of their lack of awareness, lack of deeper understanding of inquiry and observation, which coming from a cop is quite shocking, actually. But again, I don't dictate levels of others' awareness and observation and everything else. But again, what's a cop to? I mean, that one's a little tricky because it's like, yeah, they are trained to observe the physicality, the superficiality of people. Their physical doings and expressions and whatnot, not deeper. But then you got their investigators. They're taught to investigate, ask questions, and yet, for him being a lifetime police officer, he didn't really do any investigating at all, other than the superficial nonsense. Like anybody else that's like a negative influence or even environment to be around. It's like, I don't care if you're blood or you're, somebody I knew around from my childhood. It's like, if I deem you negative and you're not my own kid, bye-bye. My life is my life to live. Anybody involved in it is my determination. If somebody's negative towards me, it doesn't matter what I am to them. If they're bad to me, they shouldn't be around me. But again, my children are the only exception. Well, my dad too.
Like one example, we'd always, even though we were right across the street from the police station, we'd always be like throwing snowballs at cars and shit like that. One time, James, I'm trying to think.
As long as these are, and as much longer as I am making them, I've still only scratched the surface.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was his idea. But we went on the side of the house and we started throwing eggs at cars. I don't think I hit any.
If it was snowballs, I would have made this. I had the idea. Eggs, no.
But then he hit one. What was it? Cop car. So we run in the house, go down to the cellar, take off our pants, and as if we're having a sleepover and shit like that. And
Another half
cops
hour.
knocking on the front door, shining the light in and shit like that. And my sister answers the door.
Yeah, they were talking about it.
He said something, all I heard her say was, yeah, they were talking about egging cars. That was it.
We hid.
And then the next day, we both go down to the police station, and what's he doing? He's chewing me out like fucking crazy. Bitching at me. And do you say anything to James?
Nope.
Nope. Bitching at me, and it wasn't even my idea, and if it was both of our ideas. I mean, blame me for everything, but James had to do community service for like 20 hours or 2 Sundays or something like that. But he's the one who egged the car, so I just found that fucked up. I was always the one to blame for everything. Which
I don't know why.
You know, yeah, everything I was ever doing wrong, I never got caught for it. Really, I never did.
Well, the worst.
I hate
The worst
to
I
say
did.
I was a fucking thief. I was one hell of a thief growing up.
I like the adrenaline rush.
Remember, I lost one
The
friend.
excitement back then.
I'd always go down and play video games with him and shit like that. We had shitloads of video games. And honestly, I love the rush. I mean, it's not right to steal. I was just a stupid fucking kid. Simple as that.
Because
Would I
I'm
do
embarrassed.
anything I've ever done again? If I knew what I know now? No. It's as simple as that. No, I never
I'm
would.
still embarrassed of myself right now, though.
But I'd be stealing his video games.
Yeah, that was a good
And
friend
I
too.
forget how I got caught. I didn't get caught red-handed. I think he's seen one of his games at my house or something like that, and
Told his Bob.
pretty much his mom said, he said to me one day, I can't hang out with you no more. My mom said so because you're stealing my games. Something like that. I never really talked to him again after that.
That was my fuck up, big time. That was one friend that was a genuine friend. And I fucked that up. And I've regretted that my entire life because I really didn't have any real friends where you could just be with somebody, hang out, and not be arguing over ego, identity, or any of that nonsense. There was no competition. We'd hang out and play Sega Genesis games, and there was never any competition. It was mostly two-player cooperative games where we took turns, and we just had fun. I'd go out with him and his mom to places, hang out. That I never fought with him. I never argued with him. I just remember just always having a good time hanging out with that kid. And like I said, that was just one genuine person that I messed up. And honestly, every time I remember that, I'm just like, I don't know why. I don't know how people consciously do wrong and like fully understand what they're doing. It's like, for something as stupid as greed and a thrill, I cost myself actual friendship. Genuine friendship, which I didn't have around the people that were around me the majority of the time. It's like I've had the freaking just, it stings. I mean, it still hurts. It really does. It just sucks. I think that's the only one that was that I messed up. Everyone else pretty much just moved away or something like that.
Better for him at the time because I wasn't right. I wasn't cool at all. I mean, I was stealing money off of one guy. When I was a kid. Oh, I caused him a lot of hell. That's one thing I always regret. I was not fucking cool, not at all. Yes, we can get.
Again, like I said there, and I say it now, would I do it all again? No. Not at all. Honestly, I was addicted to the rush. I enjoyed the adrenaline rush of basically stealing and like being on the verge of getting, like doing it in a way, like just I would just do it for the rush. Basically, that was the primary thing. That's you're scared, adrenaline's going, your heart's pumping, and I got to enjoy it like a sick freaking kid.
And to that, I was always stealing off my mom too. I got in the door all you want. I remember I didn't have a birthday party because one year I stole $20 out of her purse. That was fun. I mean, my mom was freaking poor as shit the way it is. So I mean, it wasn't right. It was in the summertime. I remember when we were. I'd wake up early as hell. I'd go in her purse, and just the rush of almost getting caught, just your blood flowing, your heart racing, and what we were doing wasn't right, but I mean, the rush was cool. I enjoyed it even back then. And I got $20, and we'd go down to the grocery store and buy some fireworks. Or just some junk food or some shit like that, and we'd have a good time in the morning.
I was never randomly given that.
Which is funny.
I was lucky to get it.
Kind of good time, unless I stole like that.
I was just about to say that.
Fucking, you know, oh here's $20. Go out and have some fun. No.
I was about to say that. The most I ever got was generally a single G.I. Joe from Kmart, which was like back then was like what, $2, and I was lucky to get that. For randomly somebody, here's $20, go have fun. No. If it wasn't a relative visiting or a birthday or a holiday, I never got anything randomly. Not like that. I do that to my kids all the time, though, now.
They really didn't even buy me clothes. Not.
Now I don't even tell my kids we're going out shopping or going out and about and take them out. Okay, you got this much to spend. Let's go. Where are we going? Just like that. Because I do what I can with what I didn't have as a kid.
Enough that you remember, like, you go out shopping with your parents. Shit like that. I don't remember ever doing that other than for fucking school.
Necessities and stuff like
school.
Yeah, clothes, no. School or that was it.
But yeah, my mom. I remember it was actually my mom for stealing off her. She put me on probation. Right. Correction, let me correct that. I went ahead. Go back now. see, it happened twice.
Banging on the door.
Oh, the hell's banging?
I couldn't get peace in. It's only an hour and a half. Come on. I've already been talking for probably about 3 now. Or here. See, that's what I mean. That's been...
I think if it was my wife, she would have fucking kicked the door in by now. It's only got a freaking hook
like-
lock on it.
Even then, I couldn't get an hour and a half. I mean,
it's
yeah.
quiet. I mean, I don't even think you're gonna hear that banging. But yeah, remember one time. Let's see, I don't know how to have the first time. I stole money from my mom, and she, what the hell is that? I forget what the hell the number is, or the term, but she
302.
basically locked me up in the hospital
think-
where the kids go that try to kill themselves.
I'll look that up.
We're stealing off her. She fucking locked me up there.
Yep.
That was the first time.
Yep, it's 302. It's 302 somebody. In Pennsylvania, 302 someone refers to initiating an involuntary psychiatric emergency evaluation and treatment.
She did it twice. Second time, she actually called the cops too. And put me there. And we were still off her. I think I stayed at my friend's house. I forget what happened, but I went out of town. Yeah, I left town. I went somewhere for like overnight, and then when I came back down, I went to the arcade. I remember my buddy's dad has a cop in town. He comes in the arcade and busts me like a fucking criminal.
Again, I don't know what my mom reported, but if she reported a 302, that was a psychiatric evaluation. And yet, like a prick, I wasn't under arrest for illegal activity. But then to get a psychiatrist, you don't know what kind of state they're in. But he was honestly, it's irrelevant, but he was just being a dick. He put me in handcuffs behind my back at like 13 years old. I think it was 13 was the last time. Yeah, 13. In the arcade, cuffed behind my back. And then he had to step away, so he leaned me like this shape, like standing up but leaning forward. My hands behind my back, my head against the wall, where if I tried to move, he said, you're going to end up flat on your face. Like, a bit much, don't you think? But like I said, I don't care. It's like 30, 31, 32 years ago. I don't care, but I'm just calling it bullshit. That was just bullshit.
He literally put me against the wall. I'm not sure. I'm almost certain he handcuffed me. But he had me with my head against the wall and my feet back so much that if I did anything, I would fall flat on my face. And he actually said that to me. He said, if you move, you're just going to fall flat on your face. And I'm pretty sure he had me handcuffed because if I wasn't, obviously my hands would be, even my hands behind my back, without handcuffs, I'd be able to quickly put my hands up before I landed on my face. And he took me, I think, down to a psychiatric hospital just for processing to go back to the place where the kids want to kill themselves. Like, here I am sitting in a room, you know, even took my shoelaces and all that shit. That first 2 or 3 day procedure. And here is all these kids around me talking about their suicidal problems. And here I am talking about stealing money off my mom.
I wasn't in the right place. You just wanted me out.
Because my mother did not want me back. That was fucked up.
Yeah. Still just a kid. 13 years old. What was the answer? Not inquiry, not support, not help, but throw him away. Lock him up, and she did refuse. She didn't want me to come back, and the only reason I came back home was because my dad, who was living with his elderly mother, taking care of her, I was going to move in with him, but I couldn't because my grandmother was too old and everybody else said no. You know, honestly, thinking about it now, I really would have been better off if I would have moved up there, because then I would have been around that family, and they were more of a family than I had about a half hour away. Like, there wasn't a lot of travel. Like, it was only a half hour away between Plymouth and West Wyoming, Pennsylvania. But, I mean, it doesn't seem long of a drive now, and it's not. But as a kid, we went up there maybe twice a year. It's like, so I never really, I didn't really get to know any of those relatives even. Like, literally a majority, like 90% of them are all strangers to me. Well, most of them are past now. It's like, I'm just thinking, like, the ones I knew, if I was around them, I would have had a better upbringing. I would have. But then again, who gives a shit? Because all of what happened had to happen for me to understand what I know now and all that bit. So again, based on now, I wouldn't change anything. I'm just hypothetically speaking. Here's your vape. Noise. By the way, it's probably been like 3 hours now. I could keep going for another 8. Like, if I was by myself, nobody was home, and nobody's gonna be home all day, I could literally move into the 3rd video and the 4th and just keep going. This ain't draining. I'm not, sitting here thinking, getting a headache and all that bit. I'm just being casual. I'm just chilling. I'm having fun.
It's like, really? I was 13? It was like 12 or 13. I don't care what I did. What kind of fucking mother would fucking do that shit? Lock him up and then pretty much, yeah, you don't want him no more. Which she didn't. And I actually would have moved in with my dad and my grandmother, his mother, but she was up there in age where the other family member said no, she's too old. So then, I guess eventually, conned her into letting me come back home. Which, I'll say it again. How many times I've said it's still their fault. My parents' fault.
Well, fault for what though?
See, people get it wrong. They had it wrong. Do something wrong, you're punished.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Punish, punish, punish. It's just like that, quickly. Do something wrong.
I said that earlier.
Punish. You know,
I didn't need
why I did things. I don't know.
I didn't need punishment.
I don't know why the fuck I did things I did back then. For the hell of it, because I wanted to. Because I didn't know better. That's why I blame them for a lot of shit. That's why I keep saying parents are responsible for teaching their children. So are teachers and everybody else who has more knowledge than they do. You know, me stealing, nobody ever sat me down talking like this and told me it's wrong, explained to me why, you know, like saying shit like, you know, explain to me like your parents are poor. They don't have the money for you to be stealing. You know, about how it's all wrong and the consequences of, you know, what'll happen to, you know, me doing it and also the victim who I'm stealing on. Nobody ever explained that shit to me.
Nope.
And again, I learned the hard way. I learned everything the hard way.
Punishment. Do it. Do wrong. Don't know better. Get punished.
If I was told that,
Until you
everything I
learn the
did
hard
wrong,
way.
I wouldn't have done anything wrong, really.
Big cat taking up half the seat.
And then,
I'm literally.
yeah, then after that, I think I stole it for a few more times. Then after that, she took me over to probation office.
Yeah.
She had me put on probation until I paid restitution, which is basically paid her the money back. 13 years old. How the fuck am I going to pay anything back? Speaking of probation, then when I was 13, still.
Shit, I forgot to take the chicken out of the oven. Or out of the, not the oven, the fridge is
like
probably
6.
still.
Damn, that plane is low.
Forgot to take the chicken strips out of the fridge. They're probably still frozen from the freezer, and that's what's for dinner. Teriyaki noodles mixed in with some fried chicken. Probably going to fry that in some soy and teriyaki sauce, and then mix it all together and add more soy and teriyaki sauce. Because I don't have General Tso or the ingredients to make it, and my kid likes that chicken and Asian food with chicken. Oh, so I'm gonna listen, but I'm gonna go take it out of the fridge.
I think I was in 7th grade. Skipped school with a buddy, Joe. I forget his name. I don't recall ever seeing him again after that school year. But me and him skipped school. We went to his house. Then we went to his buddy's house. Their idea was to rob a house. So we're all going door to door, so you know who's not home. In a very tight-ass frickin' town. Community watch or crime watch is very big. And we're knocking on doors, nobody answers. We try the windows and shit like that. And we got one, we went into one house. There was nothing. We got like frickin' $5 in change.
Yeah, it was still partially frozen. I'm not proud of any of this. See, I just want to point this out for the ignorant people out there, the superficial people out there. doing wrong in the past, as long as the lesson is learned or moved on from and not repeated, doesn't define the person themselves and who they are. That is the most ignorant, jackass ignorance there is. Oh, well, you behave this way, so that determines who you are. I mean, well, as a child and growing up, that's wrong because the kid doesn't know, no kid knows really any better. But determining somebody based on mistakes is a fraction of who they are, even if they're not aware of it themselves.
We left, walking down the street. Here comes the cops. We took off. And we wouldn't have got caught, but we blocked ourselves in. We ran into a yard where it was like, they were shaped like that. Street here, and the yard was right here, shaped like it was up and over.
Turtle.
And we were pretty much dumping all the frickin' change in the bush. And the cop car showed up on one end and the other end. We're like, nope, we just gave up.
I just made that look like my right-ear sider pulled her head all the way in, where the only thing sticking out was her nostrils. The front of her shell was just flat. There was nothing sticking out at all. It looked really weird. Turtle head. Looked like a little green turd. I stopped to make a poop joke.
Took us back to
30
the
minutes.
station.
Hi, Pickles.
And the one cop took us separate. He was freaking yelling at me by myself. He was up in my fucking face, man. That guy
Stunk.
Oh my god.
Same word,
Interrogating the fucking hell out of me.
Stank, man. That's the absolute stinkiest. He
I
stank.
guess somebody was in a town nearby, in the next town, stealing out of cars. What's worse?
Basically, I said I was doing the other wrong because it was lesser. Admitted to that, got processed for that, and then later on had to go back to the other police station where I admitted to what we were actually doing wrong, and then I got in trouble for that instead. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm just going to skip over it because I want to get this done already.
How ours dealt with that, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later on a was it a Sunday or a Saturday maybe? It was a weekend, I know that. Went up there to give my statement and everything. That's when I actually pretty much spilled the beans. Said, yeah, we didn't do anything with any cars. We were in this. It wasn't. I don't know where the third kid went. That was the first time ever meeting him. I don't know where he went. I don't remember seeing him in the fucking detention center. But me and my schoolmate went in the juvie.
This is
I remember I
bullshit.
seen, I think three people I knew in there. Yeah. And
Kevin, Tommy.
I would have been out in
was the
3
third?
days.
Was it Kevin, Tommy, and Randy?
No,
I
3 or
think so.
5 days, he said. Yet my schoolmate, he was out in 3 days. And I was in there for 15, which, as a kid in a detention center like that, that's a long, long time. Boring as hell. Nasty food, too. But I remember one of my older schoolmates came in.
Yeah, I was waiting for it in
That
case.
was during the one flood. I remember he said he was trying to rob Kmart, or he was just... They evacuated the town, the nearby town, or the surrounding town near the river, and I think he wasn't supposed... I forget what he was doing wrong, but there was a layer of ice on the water in the one flood zone, where it actually did flood, but near Kmart, and he was running away from the cop, and he fell through the ice up to his waist. That's how the economy told me. Then he comes in. You know, you see somebody you know come in, obviously you're going to be fucking bullshitting with them. If you don't know anybody else anymore, who are you going to talk to? A bunch of strangers or a classmate? You know, a friend, somebody you actually know and hung out with. So then, sometime down the road, my probation officer told me why I wasn't let out when I stayed there long. He's like, yeah, every time I came back there, I seen you talking with him, hanging out with him.
1996. That's when that happened. That was in 1996.
It's like, dude, what do you, you know, I didn't understand at the time. I was just like, whatever. But now I'm just like, dude, what the fuck do you want me to do? You know? What do you expect me to talk to? Oh, yeah, freaking... I should have been in there longer because I should have beat this little fucking asshole's ass. Almost threw him down the fucking stairs the one day. Man. I got moved to a different room after when the local kids, little local to the town I grew up in, got released, and I accidentally used his toothbrush instead of my own. I don't even want to know how, because it's fucking disgusting. I got an infection in my lips just using his toothbrush accidentally. My fucking lips swelled up like freaking crazy. And this little fucking punk bitch wouldn't stop fucking harassing. I mean, literally, I had to fucking salve on that shit all day. I mean, they got ginormous. And, oh, hey, lips. He called me lips. Oh, he fucking harassed the shit out of me. He said it on the stairs one day going up to the school floor, and I almost turned around and pushed him down the fucking steps. Ever since then. My son turned something on the computer and was blasting. Ever since then, it's still on. I forgot my phone. I don't know how long I've been up here. Ever since then, I always make sure my fucking toothbrush is somewhere where it ain't gonna get unsanitized, where it's nice and clean and nothing's gonna get on it. And before I use the toothbrush, every single time, I turn that water on as hot as it could possibly be, and I let it get that hot, and I run my freaking toothbrush underneath the water for about 30 freaking seconds. Hopefully kill off some germs. Oh shit, yeah, that was not fun.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. You leave your toothbrush open in the bathroom, it's going to have particles of feces on it. Look it up. So what do? I literally have a little travel bag of essentials, a travel bag for essentials, that I put my shaving cream, shavers, toothbrush, toothpaste, and everything in, seal it in the bag, and put it in the closet out of the bathroom, so it doesn't get any contaminations from any particles in the air, like feces. And that is also why I put that water hot on all. I put that water on hot, and I just let it scald my toothbrush. I mean, if it could burn my finger, like, bad, then, yeah, it's gonna kill some bacteria on the toothbrush. And then I run it under warm water and brush my teeth.
Might as well keep going with that story. Well, I'll stick with my buddy that was there, Tino.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I got along with him for the most part.
I never understood him because years later, like literally over like 20 years later, I would try to add him on Facebook and he declined me I'd add friend every like 2 years or a few times. He declined it every time. It's like I never even did anything bad with him, nor did I encourage him to ever do anything bad at all. So it's like, whatever, dude.
But I was on probation. It was after that incident.
Rumplemints.
After being in juvie. Mr. Bozick. That guy was fucking awesome. He was an awesome PO.
Yes, he was. Passed away. Found out on my one postal route I was filling in.
I remember me, Tino, and two other friends.
Chris
went to
and
his
Tony.
Tino's mom's house.
No, there was 3 other kids. There was
We
5
went in
of
her
us.
liquor cabinet. Well, we were middle school at the time.
It was me, Tino, Chris, Tony, and one other friend. I can't remember the name of him. I remember there was the same friend. We were up having a campfire, hanging out where I take my kids recently, where I grew up playing. We used to shoot BB guns. I remember Chris shot him in the butt cheek. And it was like the BB was halfway through his skin. He had to literally pry it out with a pocket knife. I remember it was the same person. I just can't remember his. I can't remember his name though. He just disappeared. He just wasn't around anymore. I forget why.
We took a bus to get to school. Instead of going in, we went a few streets up to his mom's house. About 5-10 minute walk. We all got drunk on Rumplemints. All 4 of us. And before we left, mouthwash, deodorant, cologne, and Tic Tacs. We left the house. Before we were leaving, Tino said, "Don't touch any of the cigarettes. They're my mom's. She counts them."
Motorcycles. I thought it was the kids.
One douchebag friend took a pack. He was a pack of Camels, something like that.
Hold these.
We get outside. We're waiting on him, on Tino, and he's like, "Here, hold these." I didn't think nothing of it. I took them off him. He runs back in, tells him I took the cigarettes. He comes out, and I couldn't even get a word in. He starts fucking beating my ass. That's what kind of friends I had growing up.
I remember a confrontation.
Man, what a piece of fucking shit.
That's the kind of people I grew up around.
I never got a chance. I never remembered or got a chance after that to fucking tell him. I never fucking took those cigarettes. This douchebag did.
Yeah.
The douchebag that pants me, and I cost him the fucking field trip to Baltimore, Maryland in 5th grade.
I was about to say that too. I was literally about to reference who I said in the past video, Chris. The one friend, the one so-called friend that was cool as shit in the beginning when he first moved into town, but as soon as, again, learning that I'm the one to bully, suddenly I went from being a friend to somebody to bully. Basically. Like, no offense, even as a kid, I did not have that broken fucking mentality.
Good for you, fucking dickhead. I remember we got, after all that, mouthwash, deodorant, all that shit, we get back to school. So I walked by myself for a bit, and then I went with them. Wait, no. I walked in front of them all the way back to school. We get to school late.
Whoop, whoop. There goes my attention.
Cop car out there. Took off up the street. That scared me for a second.
Kids.
Yeah, funny. No, I mean, my autistic son, he has a tendency to escape the house. And he doesn't know how to keep himself safe. He doesn't know how to stay out of harm's way. That's what scared me. I was like, oh shit, he didn't get out, did he?
Still doesn't that very good, very well now.
Hell. But I get back to school 50 yards in front of them, right into the principal's office. In our middle school, it was the vice principal's office. And then 2 minutes later, they come in.
That's tasty.
And they asked, well, why are you late? Before we could answer, here walks in the probation officer, Mr. Bozick. He literally took 2 steps in. I smell alcohol in you boys. That was good. That was really good. So me and Tina were on probation. He takes us over to the probation office. Gives us a breathalyzer test. He comes back to the room we were sitting in. Okay, I'll give you one last chance. So then Tino told him. It wasn't my place. It was Tino's mom's house. It wasn't my place to say. So he told him. You know what happened? Both of us on probation. Both of us minors. Drunk as shit. Well, not anymore.
7th grade.
Back to school.
7th grade.
3-day suspension. That was it. That was it.
That was cool. And justifiable. Because if you think about it, the probation officer never followed through with it. I got suspended from school, but that was it. I never got charged, nothing. I don't know about Tino, because again, I think that was the last time I hung out with him regularly. Yeah, that was the last time. I'm sure, maybe him, but I'm sure the others got in trouble with their parents harshly, which for what they did to me, make me the Ponzi, or basically set me up for that confrontation with the cigarettes, and they were all standing around like as if they all knew it. Well, that's what you get. I didn't get in trouble at all. I got 3 days off. My parents never even found out. They probably got in trouble. And that's what they get.
I'll always be grateful for that.
No, you're not climbing out of the cage.
I mean, I was in no freaking trouble. I didn't need to be in any more back then.
I pick odds.
speaking of which,
My cat's taking half the
was
seat.
delivering one of my favorite routes over in West Pittston.
That's what I said. His relative told me he died. Yep.
And
West Pittston, Exeter, I think.
Yeah, I noticed the name Bozek on one of the letters on one guy I always used to bullshit all the time with, and then I realized I'm like, he looks like him. So then I asked him, like, you related to this guy? He's like, yeah, but he passed away.
That sucks. I wanted to sit down with that guy again, man. I wanted to sit down with that guy so fucking bad
That was
and
one
just
guy
be like,
I always wanted to have a chat with later on down the road.
that's creepy. I am not trying to say what I'm about to say. I am simply expressing myself. And yeah, that is one guy I would have loved to sit with in adulthood after learning all my lessons, after being able to reflect how much of a cool guy and not let me go for not following through punishment from, drinking before school in 7th grade. It's like he cut me some slack, and I actually, I didn't do bad from that. It just, somebody who sees all the bad you do and still, like, he's seen me do bad, but he was never judgmental about it. He was always eye to eye with me about things, honest and upfront and cool. And to sit down with somebody like that after the fact later on and just, same thing, that would have been so cool. And that's so disheartening that he passed away. That before I could do that.
He was fucking cool as hell. I mean, he wasn't lenient, like leaving me in the detention center for 15 or for longer than I should have been. Ow, damn it. But, I mean,
actually, that's a new realization. He was the only one that didn't look at me, view me, or see me, or interact with me in contempt. He was one of the few people, why did he leave me in the detention center for 2 weeks instead of 3 days? Because I was interacting with Tino. And he even told me later on it was because of that. Why? And he told me why. One of the few people told me why. Because Tino was a bad influence on me. For once, I wasn't the bad apple, and somebody else didn't need to be educated on that. He's one of the first ones to ever see any part genuinely of me, even back then. And like I said, man, that's just awesome.
he wasn't a dick, basically. He wasn't a dick. I might as well keep going on that. Damn it, man.
Good, stop vaping.
I didn't. So this fucking works. Tech one got messed up a little bit. Teen. It was the summer. It was the summer when I was age 14.
No, Pickles.
Summer 15 is when I moved. And we'd be borrowing my mom's car.
Tino again.
My mom would go to sleep around 11, 12 o'clock at night. and I'd take her keys. And
I am only expressing what I've done. Don't copy anything I've done. Not the bad things.
and we'd only need $5 for gas. Still, living across the street from the police station at the time. Ballsy. See, I'm getting it. I'm starting to enjoy just sitting here bullshitting with a camera and myself.
I should have kept doing that.
She'd fall asleep once we knew she was actually sleeping. She wasn't going to get up and not go anywhere. She never went out that late unless she was already out. We go outside. She had it was a 1978 Pontiac Sunbird. It basically looked like a mini Bandit Trans Am. That's what it looked like. That car was fucking nice.
From the front, it looked like it had the same look
It was
of
a
the
dark
front end.
red too.
It didn't look like a Trans Am. It looked like that front end.
Put it neutral. My buddy go behind the car. He pushed the car up enough down the road where starting it wouldn't wake her up. We'd start it up and go. We'd just drive around all night, mostly up the mountains, because we knew the cops weren't up there, weren't patrolling. So we do. Drive up the mountain, drive around the mountain, drive down the mountain, take a break, switch, he drives, back up the mountain, around the mountain, and back down. Actually, no, the first car I stole of hers was her
Pontiac
late
6000.
80s Pontiac, or no, Buick
Pontiac
Riviera. That thing was a boat.
Oh, that on the street, yeah,
I
on
stole
the
that. I
street.
borrowed that once, just once. That was the first time
On
I
the
actually
street.
drove on the streets. I just drove up around the next town, and I think that was it. That's all I remember. But the Sunbird shit, we'd go up. I mean, across the river, we'd go up fucking the other side of the mountain. All the time. I remember one time, went over by an industrial park nearby, and we're just cruising around, and then we end up turning around in a construction zone. What pulls up behind us? A fucking cop. We already had it planned. I mean, if we were gonna get caught up the mountain, we just drive the car through a fucking cornfield, or it pretty much through whatever, not through a yard, but it was mostly just open fields. Drive through the field, get to the edge where the forest is, get out, run into the woods, run down the mountain, and go home. And hopefully get there before the fucking cops do, and then play stupid. We never got caught, so I never had to do that, but I was a smart little asshole. I always had it planned out.
Yep. See, again, what I was actually doing wrong like that, even though the usual friends that were with me younger getting in trouble, they weren't with me, but the things I really did wrong, I didn't get caught. I never got caught borrowing the car, but I was actually driving normally. I wasn't acting hot rod or nothing. I was literally, that was us practicing driving normally and having fun doing it. Like we didn't break the speed limit. We didn't go off road and we didn't screw around. We just drove normal.
But yeah, we just, we had a cop pulled out behind us. I was going 25 on the button through there, which is a fucking crawl. He was on our ass the whole time. I guess he ran the plate and nothing came back, so he didn't bother. Being so tall, I mean, at the time, I didn't look 14. Well, not from a glance. So we almost got caught there, and we never went back that area again. Another time we're going up the mountain, we mostly came to one four-way. We mostly went right and left. And back was up and down the mountain. There was no side roads, and it was that road came up the mountain and went down the mountain. That was it. We never went straight. So finally I said, fuck it. So we're gonna go straight. I said, watch the fucking police station be down here. So I got a dry spot right in the back of my throat. Well, what was down the street? We're driving, boom, there it is. Was it Jenkins? No. Shit. Excuse me if you heard that. Whatever township police department. I was like, fuck. Right next to it's a church. I pulled right the fuck in the parking lot, turned around, and went right back. Up that mountain, we never seen one cop. Never. So we got lucky there.
There was literally 2.5, 3 minutes left. I don't know if my battery abruptly died in this one. I'm just warning you ahead of time.
And the reason I never got caught by my mom, because I wasn't stupid. My brother used to steal her Chrysler or something.
Fifth Avenue.
Big boat of a car, and he'd take it and he'd go see his girlfriend up the mountain. Halfway up the mountain, rather. And he got it stuck up there. I think he punctured the gas tank, or he just simply ran out of gas on the mountain.
Yeah, Chrysler Fifth Avenue. It was the silver one.
I never forgot that when I was stealing the car, or borrowing the car, because I brought it back. I would go at 5. We would drive all fucking night. Her car was a 6-cylinder. I don't know what liter. It was a 6-cylinder. That's all I remember. I didn't know shit about cars at the time. Just 4, 6, or 8-cylinder. That's all I knew. And $5 in gas, and there would be more gas in that tank than there was when we first started driving. She realized that eventually, but she didn't. Would you really question? I got more gas than I thought I had. That'd be nice. You're not really gonna think, oh, somebody's stealing my car and giving me more gas. That's why we never got caught. But we also would borrow my neighbor's car. He had a Sunbird. It was actually in late 80s.
I think this is going to abruptly end.
Pretty much the last generation that they made them. But his, we would take it and we would beat the fucking piss out of it, and we would take it back on E. We never refilled his tank. We kept doing that until Tino one day came over and asked to borrow it. He asked me to borrow somebody else's car. I had a spare set of his keys. So I let him borrow it. And what's he do? He comes back too late in the morning. He literally was pulling in.
Yeah, it ended abruptly. He was pulling in as he was about to leave for work, and he couldn't get the key out of the ignition in time, so he literally ripped it out of the ignition, and then he had to get a new one, and that was the end of borrowing his car for the night. I'm not proud of anything I've ever done, nor is it present now. We're talking, I was a stupid child 30 some years ago, 30 plus years ago. Now, again, this is all expressions for me, my being. That's it. I'm not dictating anything over anyone, not telling anybody what to think. I'm not pushing anything on anyone. Speaking from me, and that's it. Now, this is probably long as shit, even longer than the last one. I have to pee. It's hot. See you on the next one.